So hi everyone, we would be learning Rust. I mean, not you guys only. I will be also be learning Rust, and I've been trying to learn it for a long while, but I haven't been able to do it. So thought about making a video of it, and it will also be a way to track my progress and to also teach other people. Uh, so yeah, let's start with it. In this first video we will try to cover these 5 topics. I mean, these are not topics, more like a question, and we will try to touch bases with that and understand what we are working on it. So going on to the first one, what is Rust? So Rust is just a language, one of your languages. Like, you have multiple languages, programming language like C, C++, Java. So these are programming languages. Oftentimes I think Python is also considered a programming language, but it's more of a scripting language. Like Bash is also a scripting language. So these are something different, but Rust is, if you want to see a parallel comparison, right, then it would be most comparable to C++. I think not C++, sorry, C. C++ I think has classes, so it might not be comparable to that, but with C it is quite comparable. Though C has way too much control over it. Rust does not have that much control, but it is also providing you enough control to work around with things. So yeah, it is a programming language. It is quite a craze if you want to make a terminal GUI based application, which we say TUI based applications. So Rust is the way to go for it. If you want to make game engines, like instead of not games but game engines, or if you want to do embedded coding, so that is Rust is the way to do it. It is quite popular in that because it has something called memory safety feature, which, if you have worked with C, you will know that memory safety feature is not something that C enforces. It expects you guys to figure it out yourself, which is quite a practical way to think, because technically the developer, you should be having that knowledge to do that, but oftentimes we all make mistakes, we are human. So Rust introduces the fact, I mean, understands that fact, and it lets you it enforces that memory safety feature and makes it, a less error prone. It's not like you can't bypass that, but it's more of a not a suggestion but an enforcement, which makes Rust a better language. Not better, but at least better in that perspective. So yeah, I think this part is done. So what is Cargo? Now Cargo, this is a book, quite a popular book for Rust programming language. You can go to this site, doc.rust-lang.org/book/. This is official Bible provided by the Rust community, and you can use this to learn Rust. So if you want to understand what is Cargo, you can first of all go to this site and try to install Rust from here. I have a Linux system, and for me it is how should I say, it is barely this particular command which will install Rust. It's a barely one-line command which will install Rust, so it's not that much. But what is Cargo? Cargo is more of a package manager. So if you have worked in any Linux distribution, right, then you must be familiar with, especially if you have worked with Ubuntu, then you must have be familiar with apt. So that is a package manager. If you have worked with Red Hat, you must have be familiar with Yum, an older version of Red Hat, and newer version of Red Hat has DNF. So these are package manager. So similarly, you have Cargo. Now how do you use the Cargo and where do you use it? We will come to that, but mainly it's a package manager kind of thing for Rust. I could be technically wrong there. I'm not sure about the bookish language, but it is technically a way to manage your applications or your packages that you create through Rust. Let's see. Yeah, okay. Right. Okay, so now we will try to make a hello world program. I think I covered this cargo also. So we'll try to write a hello world program. I don't know what you say, what code editor you are using. Not code editor, what IDE you are using. So IDE means integrated development environment. Let me just type it. Development environment. So I might be doing something wrong. Whatever. You get the idea, right? So it is integrated development environment. If you have, I think there are multiple out there for Rust. I think IntelliJ also provide. For those who have worked on Java, right? I mostly was work on IntelliJ only, so it might be much more easier to use IntelliJ one. I think this is the one that's for Rust. It is IntelliJ IDEA. Yep. Or I think there are other ones also, Rust IDE by JetBrains. So this is the same thing, I think, but you can use that also. Or if you're a fan of VS Code, so you can use that also. I will personally use VS Code only. Let me open it. Now before opening it, we will try to create a project. So if you go to this documentation, right, it will help you with the project directory setup. It's up to you, whatever you want to set it up. So I have a folder here. I can create a folder which will contain your project. So for example, if I create a make directory projects, and we will go into this particular project. If you have Windows, of course you can open your file explorer and try to do it that way. There's no issue with that, or you can do it through PowerShell or CMD also, doesn't really matter. If you have Linux, of course you can go with that. So now I can go ahead and make directory hello world and go into the particular directory. Of course they have shared the Windows command also. Technically it will share you exactly what files you have to create and everything, but this is something, right, it expects you that it will just create a single file. Now when you create a Rust project, right, it will have certain set of files which are needed if you want to work on a complex projects, not like hello world or something, but more like a complete project. If you are building a music player, or if you're building a JSON editor, so at that time you will require certain set of packages or something. So those things will be there in the boilerplate of kind of thing. So it will contain all those files. So let me show you that. In this it is that only hello cargo. Yeah, this one. So cargo new hello world. So you can have cargo. New means a new project. It could be anything. Like for example, I think the suggestion that is coming, rustic music player. So if you're creating a music player, it can be that. For now we are just creating a hello world program. So I will just write it hello world, and voila, it has created this. Now the interesting fact is we will be looking into the project structure or directory, and I will walk you through that. So first of all, we have to open this thing. If you can use whatever ID that you have. While it opens, file, open folder, lower, that's hello world. So this is my ID. Now before I start this one also, so before I start that, I just need to tell you the extensions that we use. So if you are first time setting it up on VS Code, right, you will require two things. Rust. If you search for Rust, right, you will find the first thing, Rust Analyzer. Rust Analyzer is your it will run as a server, technically a server, yeah, which lints your code and gives suggestion if you are writing any particular code. It can it also helps you with, oftentimes it helps you with any function, right? If you're writing a function, or if you're using a function that is publicly available, then it will give you the pure documentation of that and how to use it. You can go through the features itself, but technically for your linting purpose, right, to get you set up, this is required. So you can install this one. Apart from that, nothing else is required. You can explore, of course, other extensions also, but technically this is the only main extension that is required. So now you can see it here. Let me expand it. So this is our parent directory, hello world. Inside it there are src folder and there is a target folder. Then it also creates a get ignore file. For those guys who do not know what is get ignore, it contains all the files that you don't want to commit to Git. So like for example, target, I don't want to commit anything that is there in the target, so I will specify it here. For example, if I want to specify a particular file, let's see, cargo log. So I don't want to commit this cargo logs. You can see that it has grayed out. So you can specify any file, for example your env file that is there, right, which might contain your API keys or your passwords. So you can specify those files here and they will not be committed or tracked by Git. At least Git is your version control system. Let me see, yeah, version control system, which is also in technical world we just say it VCS, version control system. So so that is Git. Let me just remove it. Cargo.log is required technical. I mean, it is not required, but it is good to have it. Okay, so we will walk through one by one. The most critical file that is currently is cargo.toml. So it contains packages, name, hello world, version, edition. Okay, so it is your application packages. Now you will have to have dependency. So example, if I want to add certain packages from cargo, right, which we will learn later on, but anything that I want to add, it's more like a npm module type of thing. So if you want to add any npm module, right, you can just simply add it and it will have a certain set of modules committed in that particular file, right. Similarly, all those packages that you will be adding in your application on this program that you will be writing, they will be kept here for track. We will be exploring more on cargo.toml maybe in next videos, but at least for now you can understand this. Cargo log is more like a versioning type of system. It is automatically generated by cargo and it is not something that we should be manually editing. So it's something you can just forget about it. It is created by Rust itself and you don't have to do anything about it. So and target is more of a, like if you compile your code, right, everything will be kept, all those binaries will be kept here only. So when you create your application, when you create your program, right, when you release that, create that final build also, right, everything will be kept here. So from programming perspective, nothing interesting, but of course when you're going to deploy your application and when you're going to distribute your application, at that time this particular folder will be relevant, because all your binaries or your executable files that will be created, right, they will be here only. So you can use that, but for now, for current purpose that we are going to do it, right, the programming, it is not something relevant. Now the relevant folder src, it contains main.rs. If you have noticed, rs is something is extension which a rust file uses generally. So it has already by default, any new project that you create, right, it will contain this default piece of code which will be function main, println and hello world. Now we will go through one by one, but since this code is already written and everything, why not just try to run it, right? So like I said previously, rust analyzer, this extension is already installed, so it is running. So we can just simply open the terminal, and in the current directory that you are, right, you can simply run cargo run and press enter. Just that's it, cargo run, and it will compile it. After finishing, it will run it. If you can see it here, right, it is running from target. Like I previously said, everything executable files, they will be there in the target. If you want to explore also, you can go to target, debug, and this, I think this, yeah, I think this, hello world. So not this one, sorry, this one, yeah. So hello world. So it is running, right? Great. So at least the program is running. We have at least written the hello world program technically. So it is done. Now we will explore it, of course. Let's explore. So function main. So how do you read it, right? Let me just remove all this control. So if you want to read it in plain or English language, right, fn means function. One more thing, comments can be used. It is similar to C only. / means comment, and if you are using this, right, so that will be for multi-line. Yeah, for multi-line. So this is the multi-line. Regardless, fn stands for function. Main is your one, it is the first function that is being that is executed by the program. So you can write maybe, I don't know, hundreds of line of code, right, multiple function, multiple classes, but end of the day, the first function that will be invoked, right, it will be invoked main. So you can write multiple set of codes or multiple set of functions, but they have to be specified in this main function only for them to get executed. So because our Rust program or whatever the compiler generally looks for this main function only. You can also see this run or debug is coming, right? If I specify any other function test, this is not coming, right? Run debug is not coming here, because function test is generic function, but main function is the critical function. Okay, so now that we are clear about it, what is println? I think println, you might already know about it. For those from Java background, you must have this system.out.println, right? System, I mean, it has its own analogy in Java, but you get the idea, right? You guys have used this println, you know the functionality of it. Println means nothing, that if you're running, you have technically two commands, print and println. Print means it will simply print on the same line. Println means it will print on a new line. Okay, and after that it will give you /n. So this is the only difference. Now the thing that you must have observed, right, which is different from other language, is this particular mark, exclamation mark. So this is special. Explanation means macros. So these are, you know, pre-built macro rules which are there. If you create your own function, right, that can be called, like for example, if I create fn print stub, and call this function here. So I will call this function like this. I will want to specify this particular thing. Why? Because this is not a macro, this is my custom function, so I won't be specifying this thing. But all the inbuilt function, right, for example you have we'll be exploring that, but for example you have format, so this will have a this thing exclamation mark, which means macros. You can also read this, and this thing already comes with Rust Analyzer. Once you install this extension, you will be able to see this, and Rust Analyzer is common across all the IDs, so I don't think you will be seeing anything different from my screen. So I hope you are able to get it. Println and hello world. So this is pretty simple. Now we will be talking about, let's see, variables and keyword. So variables and keyword. Okay, now hello world is pretty generic. Maybe you want to print out your name. Okay, not name, but let's see, hello world, name, let's give it name. So when we want to initiate a variable here, right, on some language, multiple language, in some language you will find where might be the word, but in Rust, right, in Rust you have let. So let, and after that you have variable name. So let name equals to Susan, not Susan, sorry, Susan. Okay, so Rust is actually you have two type of languages, if I'm not wrong, statically typed and then one more language is there, statically typed and dynamically typed. Yep, and dynamically typed. Rust is statically typed, even though it does infer these things. Like for example, I'm giving a name variable and I'm specifying this to be in quotes, right? So this particular thing, Rust is able to infer that, yeah, this is a string. Okay, I mean technically it is string literal, but for now you can consider it as string only. So Rust is able to infer that. Sometimes it happens that Rust is not able to infer, and Rust should be able to infer it before the compiling. Okay, yeah, at the time of compiling, it should not be able to infer it during the time of running. So you should make it sure that Rust knows that what you are writing, or what is the type of your variable. Okay, if it is able to infer it automatically, there's no issue with that. So for example, I will just give you example for that. Let age equal to 37. Okay, now you can see this is I32, right? Now I32 means 32 bit. Now it has automatically inferred as I32, but for example, if I wanted to have it I8, okay, I don't want I32, I just want I8 as a bit, so I have to explicitly define it, that use it as I8. I don't want I32. So at the time of writing the code only, right, you have to statically define that. So ideally Rust infers it dynamically only, but it is a statically typed language, so you should be able to make it clear to Rust that what is the variable type that you're using. Of course we will go to the types later on, but I hope this concept I'm able to make it clear, because you will see a lot of red lines when you are programming if you don't make it clear to Rust that what type you're using. Okay, too much. So acquire a name. Now how to use this name in println? A simple way would be to just specify this curly bracket and specify name here, and you can see, right, this becomes previously was grayed out, now it is normal. So we are using this variable. For example, if I don't use it, let me show you that also. So for example, if I don't use it, right, You can see the curly lines, right, squiggly lines. But when I compile it, right, it is specifically saying to me, the compiler, that this is an unused variable. Help if this intentional, prefix it with an underscore. Okay, this is also something. If maybe there's a variable that you want to define but you don't want to use it, or maybe you're keeping it like you're doing a big application, you're writing millions of code, right, and you're just defining a variable and you want to use it later on, but you don't want this particular warning coming every time. So you can simply give underscore in front of it, and suddenly this warning disappears. In our case, we want to use it, of course, right? So we will remove this underscore and specify it here. But this thing is right, this thing is pretty helpful. These warnings and the errors that you will getting here, right, it is pretty descriptive, and believe me, half of the times you will be able to solve it, the issue that you're facing, by just seeing this particular error log, which is pretty fantastic considering other languages does not have that capabilities. I mean, I'm not saying all the languages, but some certain languages does not have this capability. It is generally quite vague error they throw. So at least just provide this thing, it is pretty fantastic. So yeah, cargo run hello world Susan. So we understood how to declare a variable, right? I created a variable, a name variable. You can also create a multiple variables, like for example I want to create a age variable. Age, let Susan age be, I don't know, 35, and we can say hello world Susan. Not hello world, doesn't make any sense. Hello, my name is, and my age is, name then age. You can say this is positional, so name is coming first, so it will fill the first bracket. Age is coming after, and it will fill the second bracket. So this is positional argument kind of thing. Just make sure that you are keeping the order same, otherwise you will have a different output. So cargo run hello, my name is Susan and my age is 35. You can play around with it. This is quite basic, how to declare a variable. So let's move on to the next topic. One more thing, keywords. So variable is something like something to store a value. Okay, so for example in maths use x and y, right, which are to store a value. So similarly variables are also there to store a value. Now keywords are something different. So keywords are actually words that are defined especially for the language. So the language also requires some certain set of words, right, some kind of vocabulary to converse or to act as an interface between your system, your computer, and the human, right? So that vocabulary technically is a keywords. So if you want to identify what is a keyword in here, right, let is a keyword. I can't use let as a what do you say, as a variable. So test, you can see that I'm getting an error, right? Escape let to use an identifier. So technically these are keyword. You can, and it is giving a descriptive everything that this is a keyword and you can't use it. So there are some reserved keywords. You will, as you learn this language, you will know about this vocabulary and you will understand that these keywords are not to be used. Apart from that, you can use variable for anything, and I hope I was able to make keywords and variable part clear. Let's see, this is also done. Last topic, mutable and immutable. So mutable, I mean, if you look at English definition, what is mutable? That can be modified or altered after they are created. So modified and altered after they are created. I have created this variable. Let's not start with Susan because strings are always complex. Let's start with age. I have created this variable and I want to modify this variable. Okay, I want to say that, okay, previously I said that my age was 35. Now I want to say that my age is, let's say, 25, right? So I try to do it, but I'm getting error. So what it is saying, cannot assign twice to immutable variable age. So this variable, when you define this only let, right, let age, that by default creates a immutable variable. So consider making this binding mutable by defining this mute keyword. So if I want to make this variable mutable, right, so that I can edit it later on, or edit or reassign the value later on, so I can just simply type mute and the error is gone. I can reassign the value again. Now immutable and mutable might not seem reasonable at this point of time, because for some people that are coming from different languages, right, immutable and mutable concept does not exist, at least on the starting phase. But it is very critical in Rust. You might not understand it now, but as you go forward, right, in later videos we will cover it. Pointer and all those stuff. I mean, it doesn't have pointer, but it does have a borrower and checker. So you will get to know that there are certain set of rules, right, with mutability and immutability that you have to follow, so that Rust will allow you to run the programs. Otherwise, if you violate those rules, right, you will always get errors. So mutable and immutable are pretty critical. It is not a hard concept to grab, but it is still quite basic thing and we should be knowing about it. So I hope I was able to make it clear. Okay, so with this we have completed today's agenda. I mean, we have answered all the 5 questions, and yeah, we will go for other topics in chapter 2, but for now I think this part is done. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for the support. I hope I was able to make everything clear to you guys. It's pretty basic. I mean, it's the starting phase only, but as you go for more and more topics, right, you will get to know that Rust is pretty it's a very steep learning curve. You might understand its programming vocabulary, but its concept about memory safety and all that, right, it has a steep learning curve. I mean, I also face quite a bit of issue with that. So yeah, but it is something which is quite a popular language, Rust itself, so it is a good idea to learn it. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Thank you. Bye.